Okay, so as promised, a question was asked earlier before in one of the prior videos, or someone mentioned asked me this. So here's a quick video on what unit is all about. I have an example unit right here. Alright, so for units, there's several things that you need to know. For units, when placed on the board or arena, they use up your normal one friend per turn. That's the normal restrictions, right? And when it's placed, the character it's placed on top is always placed face down and placed on top like this, similar to an extra. So, and just like extras, for instance, if you have, let's say this was your partner, right? Which technically she's a partner option in Total Eclipse, but now say your partner's at level 2 and you extra, sorry, not extra, you place the normal on top. You would take the top character, place face down, and place the unit on top of it. Now, in that case, the unit now gains the modifier underneath, gains the modifier, similar to an extra. If you had an extra on top, say for instance, partner extras, when placed on top, depending on the level of the partner, you always put the top character face down. Alright? Now, there are certain things about extras that you need to be made aware of. Based on the text, for instance, actually, I forgot what this was all about. Anyway, let me read this. Here, so you get it closer up. Alright. In the red, it's a partner text right here on the boat. This line. Auto. Actually, we'll forget that. But the above effects basically mention it gains all the effects of the character below, including character name and blah. So, for instance, this is Enshin right here, the keyword Enshin. And then when it gets the character name, it'll be Enshin plus character name and then type 00F. So it gains the additional name. So say for instance, if you have a event that requires to play that you need to have this specific character name on the board, you can now play the event because you still have the character's name on board. Another quick mention is one of the units effects gains everything that gains all the effects, text effects from the character before. So whatever this affects, since this has begin main phase draw, and if I discard one, if there's a unit on top, gains power. Actually, the second one I just made up on the last part, but you get the idea. So when it comes around to that, units are mostly known for their high stats, as you can imagine here. Extras generally have less, but they generally have more text-based effects that are generally more powerful than, and it's also a lot faster because you can bring in a friend and extra, and you'll have two face-up characters, and possibly a third one if you heal through one of their effects. While for normal, it takes up your normal. Well, it's not an extra. It generally does take up normal, so you in the general card placement itself, it's generally restricted to wherever it's placed on the board, for instance. But aside from that, let me think if I covered everything. You also gain whatever the character's name and card effects, well, based on the card text. The first part allows you to gain whatever the character's name and the effects of the character it's placed on top of. Oh yeah, for units, there's also a restriction on which character you can place it on top of. You'll see a mention for it. Let me see if I can just show you real quick. Alright. You might notice around this line right here, or I believe that's the character's name. It's asking. Yeah. It needs to be placed. This part right here. This character name needs it needs a I forgot the girl's name, but here, as you can see. Let me just fix the angle right there. Those 3 characters and these 3 characters right here. Right here, you'll notice that it needs to be placed on top of this specific character that mentions. So units do have a specific character requirement, similar to extras with their requirement. Except certain extras is just easier and faster to pull out. And that's it for units, I believe. Alright. If there's any more questions, just mention below. Or text me any questions and I'll see if I can do a quick video on that question. Alright.